Oh, my goodness. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday. You know, I am a jack of all trades and a master of none, but that is better than just a master of one. And people ask me what I do for a living. I say I'm a general contractor, I am a content creator, I am a cabinet maker, and an all-around nice guy. And there never seems to be enough hours in the day. Doug, this one's for you, buddy. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's about 90 degrees, and I'm fixing a roof where a tree fell through it. So I'm burning for you. And I'm taking a little bit of a break, and like a dumbass, I didn't bring water. I only have coffee, which is the last thing you want to be drinking when you're out working in the heat. So, be that as it may, I want to talk about Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, who is looking to get paid. You know, he is one of the best players, whether you like him or not, and say trade him or anything else. He is one of the top players in the NFL. And it seems like, and maybe I'm wrong on this, it seems like since, I'm not going to say that he wasn't taking a leadership role before, but it seems like his leadership role is growing in leaps and bounds. I pointed out the other day, after practice, and nobody likes to practice, one, Mozzie Smith, and we haven't heard anything about Mozzie being reevaluated, but it's only 10 o'clock out in Oxnard, so we don't know if he's going to be at the game or not. But for him to be running extra sprints and things with Mozzie, trying to help pump him up, and you hear him like with some of the other players, especially the younger ones, and it may be that he realizes that as good and great as he is, he's not going to win a Super Bowl by himself. That to get there and win the Super Bowl, which is the ultimate goal for any player in the NFL, is, as much as he's been on board that, you know, we'd like to get some of these free agents and stuff, you know, kind of putting it and shaking his head every time somebody has a big signing and things, and seeing that the Cowboys aren't doing it. So he knows that we're not going that direction to try and win the Super Bowl by getting extra players and stuff. He is doing everything to pump up his own guys and get the most out of them. Because if Mozzie Smith ends up, shout out to Michael Ward, what's happening? So you're away from In-N-Out Burger, and good for you, man. I'm sorry. In-N-Out Burger, don't sue me, but man, I wasn't impressed. I'm sorry, I just wasn't impressed. Fat Burger was definitely better. But be that as it may. But it seems like he's taking on that role as beyond just, I'm a great player, I'm going to take care of me. He's trying to take care of his teammates, because you hear him like talking about Marshawn Kneeland. He recognizes this, and it's not about, because a lot of players are afraid to help others because they worry about losing their spot, because if they become good, I become expendable. But what he realizes is, if Mozzie Smith becomes great in the middle, it makes his job easier. If Marshawn Kneeland, and he goes out and he compares him to Cam Jordan. Now, I've met Cam Jordan. I've stood between Cam Jordan and Calais Campbell. And my 5'11", 265 self felt like a little baby. That's a big man. Cam Jordan is an absolute positive beast. But Micah Parsons compares him to Cam Jordan and pumps him up, because he knows if this guy can get his shit together and become really good and be a threat and get into that rotation, then I can be the guy that's going to get all the glory. But he's not doing it just for his own glory. What I'm saying about that is this. Think about Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa gets a lot of love, and I'm not going to say that he doesn't deserve as much love as he gets. He's a great player. But when you compare Joey Bosa to Micah Parsons, Micah had more sacks than he did last year. But you look at everything across the line from Joey Bosa. You can't just worry about Joey Bosa. You got to worry about Eric Armstead, who is a great defensive tackle. You got to worry about Hargrave, who's another great defensive tackle. And then they were throwing in late in the season, rotating a Randy Gregory and a Chase Young. And so because you have all of these guys, a lot of times what you'll see with Joey Bosa is Joey Bosa just gets left by himself and he's got easy pickings. For Micah Parsons, he's getting double and sometimes triple team because they're not as worried about the rest of those guys. And I won't even talk about, the linebackers with Greenlaw and all those guys that are back that are also part of that front seven. And that's the same thing that you look at even with the quarterback situation with Dak Prescott. If you have a multitude of great players that are out there to get the ball to, they can't cover all of them, especially if you got a great running back who you fear that Christian McCaffrey could take it to the house, or Christian McCaffrey can catch the ball and take it to the house, or Deebo Samuels can catch the ball and run your D-backs over, or Brandon Ayuk, who's a great route runner and as fast as can be, can take it to the house. Or, possession-wise, you end up having Skittle Kittle, who can, get you a big first down and literally take the victory away from us like he did in the playoffs the last time with that big catch. All those things matter. And I think Micah Parsons, coming into his fourth year, is getting a sense of urgency that he realizes time is short. Maybe he realizes that maybe, Jerry Jones is considering blowing this thing up. And the best way to prevent that, if you don't want it, is by succeeding. By being so good that you look at it and say, you'd be a freaking idiot to change things. So I like this Micah Parsons that's here. The question I have on this is sometimes you end up getting thrown under a bus. And what that does is it makes you think inside, Instead of dealing with the messenger, you deal with the message. And I'm wondering if Micah Parsons, who at first was kind of pissed off and saying, you could have brought this to me directly and we could have had a conversation about it, thought introspectively what he was saying. I don't think Malik Hooker was trying to trash his buddy, his teammate. I think Malik Hooker was trying to get the most out of Micah Parsons to help the team be as good as it could be. And that's the way I'm going to take it. I'm just Joe the fan here. I'm not there in the locker room with those guys, so I don't really know. But I hope that is the sea change that ends up being. Because Micah Parsons, by some people, look at him and say he's selfish because of what he does with Bleacher Report and doing all the podcasts and stuff, that he's trying to change the narrative on that. So we'll see. Whew, all right. My carpal tunnel syndrome is acting up. Oh, Lordy. And I need my nail gun in here so I can shoot down this piece of OSB on the roof and get that nailed down, get some tar paper on it, and see if I can find those shingles today. I think I'm going to, I am a tool guy, and I love my DeWalt tools because, here's probably the reason why I love my DeWalt tools is, all of them use the same batteries. So I've got table saw, I've got miter saw, I've got a chainsaw, I've got 2 weed eaters, I've got probably about 6 drills, I got 2 hammer drills, a couple of jigsaws, I've got multi-tools, I got planers, I've got a battery charger / inverter that can use the batteries and have a 15 amp circuit outlet wherever I go, and literally have used that for 3 hours to run a 65-inch TV off of 4 batteries. And I think I'm going to go to Ace Hardware, and I'm going to buy the roofing nailer, because I've always hated being on a roof and having the compressor hoses up there and listening to the damn compressor. And to be able to go up there with a cordless tool, I love my cordless tools. Whew. All right, good people. I'll see you on the roof.